Hello, and welcome to Conversations with Auntie, where we have real talk about real life situations. I am your host, Tanya Lynne. Sit back, relax, and enjoy the real, the raw, and the unapologetic with Auntie. Well, hello, everybody. Welcome to Conversations with Auntie. I am Auntie. This is part two of a real candid conversation with Auntie. The first part was last month for my birthday, and it was just so good. And we didn't get to cover everything because she had all these questions, y'all. And I don't know what I'm in for tonight, but I know I'm in the hot seat. And so we just thought it was necessary to do a part two. And so that's what we're going to get today, the unfiltered part of Auntie. We're going to talk about some other things. But before I do, I want to make an announcement. Beyond the Shadows, Recovery After Abuse is a domestic violence conference workshop, breaking free, recovering, renewing. And it is going to be on February 7th, 2026, from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time at 2463 Taylor Road in Cleveland Heights. That's 2463 Taylor Road in Cleveland Heights. The donation is $25. Beyond the Shadows, Recovery After Abuse, the Domestic Violence Conference and Workshop. So definitely want to check that out. You can do a screenshot. There's a telephone number listed. This is Roxanne Bruce. Her contact number is 216-544-1155, 216-544-1155. If you have any questions or need to know how to register, if you can't access the QR code, definitely want to give her a call. And with that, I am now turning it over to our guest host, Moneecia Johnson. There you go. Y'all pray my strength in the Lord.
Well, hello, everyone. I am Moneecia Johnson, and I have the privilege to interview Tanya Lynne. And so today, you ready?
I ain't ready, but we going.
Yeah, you ready? So let's start off with, before we even started, what are you expecting in this new year?
Oh, so I'm going to close the year with my first book written. It won't be published until next month or February, the latest. But my goal is by December the 30th to have Raindrops and Rainbows written. And I have it halfway done. I'm focused on that. It's time for me to give birth. It's time for me to focus on me. So that's my number one priority, getting that one out. And then right after that one, Until Death When Your Faith Meets the Fire.
What does that mean to you? Rainbows.
It's REIGN, bows, and REIGN drops. And so in the midst of life storms, God always sends us a rainbow. He always rains down on us. And in his raindrops, or it's just the little nuggets of love that we feel along the way, the little nudges, the little pushes, the little whispers. So it's his rain. And then in the book, you have side notes, just little things that I've learned while I've been on this path.
What inspired you to write this book?
I don't even know. Oh, yes, I do. So February 21st, 2009, I had sent somebody where I used to work at JP Morgan Chase. So somebody there, one of the supervisors, asked me to pray for them. And then I just started typing what God said with scriptures. And then I emailed it to them, and they were like, oh, wow, thank you so much. But then God said, take that and make it into a devotional and send it to everybody on your email list. I'm like, everybody? He said, yeah. So I did, got great response from it. And then he said, now you're going to do one every week. I'm like, every week? So that it started February 21st, 2009, that one.
Okay.
And so every week I did it. But then February 21st, 2010, my husband died. So God had me in his word, getting me strong to handle what was yet to come. So from there, my sister friend Celeste Ribbons, hey Celeste, she said, you need to do this in a blog. So I have a blog on WordPress. So we turned it into a blog. And so I'm just taking those devotionals and I'm condensing them so that we can have daily devotions, or just let me go pull this out and get some encouragement, some inspiration, just a go-to, just something to put in your spiritual toolbox. So that's how it came about. That's how I got birthed.
Okay. Well, you mentioned you said a prayer for somebody, and when I was spending time with God, and I was asking the Lord, like, what is it that you would have me to ask her? And He brought up Esther, and so bringing up Esther, I guess I would ask you, can you identify with Esther in any kind of way?
Well, Esther was bold, and yet she was purposeful. And then she became an intercessor, and she laid her life down. If I perish, let me perish. But she knew what she needed to do for her people. And so, yeah, in a lot of ways, I do identify with Esther because it didn't matter what happened to her. I need to make sure that they are taken care of. And so, whatever happens, if I perish, she said, let me perish. But even because at that point, he's not my husband, he's the king. And I need to go to him and let him know what's going on. And it takes a certain type of courage, a certain type of strength to stand before those who make choices and decisions for your life, the kings, queens in your life, and still stand flat-footed, even when they may not agree or when it even may go against what they believe.
That's so true.
And I'm quite unorthodox. You know, a lot of people try to tell my story, but you can't tell it, so let me tell it. You know, because you're gonna lose, you're gonna miss something. And I'm not ashamed of anything that I've ever done, any mistake I've ever made, because it groomed me to be me today. It groomed me.
So you talk about when you were speaking about that, I thought that was a great description because you are an advocate in so many ways. And how did you get to become an advocate? What made Tanya Lynne an advocate?
Elizabeth Maddox, my great grandmother. Everybody called her Mama Liz, and she lived in Jefferson, Pennsylvania. And I didn't understand what she did until I got older. But she would have men and women at her home that needed safety from life storms. She was helping men and women all through her life. And because I was the eldest grandchild, I was with her a lot. And so I just did what I was taught to do. It wasn't even like a choice. This is what you learn. And so this is what you're taught. This is what you learn. So then this is what you do. And so I thank God that it's more than just what I do, that I have a heart to do it. You know, so I'm not just doing it just to do it, but I have the heart to do it. And so Elizabeth Maddox, my great grandmother.
So you mentioned being flat-footed and taking up for yourself and being surrounded by kings and queens who may think they know best for you. And when I think about when you talk about that, not only are there king and queens, the king and queens have people that are
They have a court.
around
King's court, the
them,
Queen's court. That's right.
and that speaks to them as well. What would you say to someone who's looking for direction, but the king and queen could be a mother, a father?
That's right.
It could be somebody you aspire to look up to. And they may think that they know the best thing for you, but it may be hard for that individual to share and not stand flat-footed. What would you say to them?
There was a time in my life where I kept silent about a lot of stuff. And I took a lot of blows. And then I realized that I have a right to speak my truth as well.
True.
You know? And so I say to you, speak your truth and don't worry about how they're going to receive it. See, a lot of times we don't say things because we don't want the feedback. We might not want what might come back to us. And so then we stay trapped where God doesn't want us to be. And so it's like somebody who sings but they're also called to preach. They're also called to back. But because all you see them do most of the time is singing, you want to keep them in that box as a singer. But God has a word for them to preach as well. Mm-hmm. And so you have to say, listen, in this season, this is how God is using me. And while I appreciate what you're saying, did you ask God when that season was supposed to manifest in my life? Because it might very well manifest. But if God's telling me that I'm supposed to do this in this season, there's no way God's going to tell you to tell me something different. Trust in the Lord with all thy heart and lean not into your own understanding. In all thy ways acknowledge him and he will direct thy path. And so if it's not your understanding, you know what God told you. That's fact. Mm-hmm. So that removes what you think. And so if I know God is calling me to do something in this season, but yet you're telling me, well, I heard the Lord say, God is not a man that he should lie, nor the son of man that he should repent, and he is not the author of confusion. So if you're coming to me with something different, and I know that this is what God told me to do, I need to come to you and say, but what season, when did he tell you that was to manifest in my life? Because we prophesy in part, so we see in part. Mm-hmm. And so just open your mouth and tell them, and don't worry about the feedback, because it is better to be God approved than to satisfy man. That part.
I was about to say that part.
Hey, my sister Jackie's watch. Hey, Jackie. Hey, let's keep the Baines family in prayer. Jackie's son, my nephew, he passed away. He is now our angel. So let's remember to keep them in your prayers. Thank you.
So sorry. You know, you always know how to put something right.
I try. I don't even try. It's just God. You know, Mo, when you've survived so much, when you've endured so much, I am in the season where I'm fighting for my life. Every part of me has to live. The woman part, the spirit part, the writer, the scribe. Mm-hmm. Every part of me has to live in this season. I take no shorts no more. It's okay. Let them out. Let it out. But it's necessary. So, you know, somebody asked me today, loyalty is for God. Come on, Semiatu, period. Somebody asked me today because I'm a widow, and they said, on your anniversary, do you celebrate it? No. They said, oh, but why? I said, because he's dead. What do I look like celebrating the anniversary of something? This is me. You might have a different opinion. You might have to do something different for you. But what I look like going out to have a celebration for my wedding anniversary when my husband is deceased, that's just going to further remind me that he is not here. And so, no, I'm not. Let the dead bury the dead. I am alive, and I plan on letting every part of my life live. Every part. Unapologetically. I plan on doing that. Because I deserve it. I deserve it. And I think oftentimes we as men and women of God, we think it's being selfish when we pull something back for us. No, it's called self-full. You've been operating on self-empty a long time. Been pouring and pouring and pouring and pouring. And then you don't pour into yourself. Back in the day, they used to say it's a poor cook who leaves the kitchen hungry. How you hungry and you don't want to cook the food? So the prophet is now prophesying over herself. The healer is now healing herself. The lover is now loving on herself. The deliverer is now delivering herself.
When you say that, listen, I just think that's the season for some of us anyway.
It is.
Being a servant, you can serve so many people because you're on assignment.
On assignment.
And as I'm learning and being in the process of being built who God called me to be, we serve so many people in so many ways.
And so often, Apostle Mel, my pastors are Apostle Mel and Steve from the House of Worship. How? Well, God has the answer to all your questions. But anyway, and join us Sundays at 10 a.m. We are at 12672 Rockside Road in Miss O's in the old Darby Theater. That was a plug. Anyways, she prophesied Sunday and said, people say, oh, she talks too much. She said, let me tell you something. What God's about to do in this season, you better tell it all. Don't you leave nothing untold, because I know the little, I know all that you do. They only know a little. If they only knew all that, I share certain things to maybe try to inspire somebody else to do something else. Just because sometimes we think we need a whole lot to do a whole lot. Like I have an electric roaster that I'm going to fill with hamburgers, and I'm gonna feed some people. I think that's probably what I'm gonna do Christmas Day. And I'm gonna just go get some people a burger and a bottle, some hamburgers and a bottle of water. That little thing will mean so much to somebody else.
That's so true.
And then I'm going someplace to pick up some sweets and different things on Christmas Eve, so they'll have that too. So that's that. God just told me that's what I've been saying. What am I do for Christmas? That's what I'm gonna do for Christmas, because it's more than me. And so I'm going to share what I do so that maybe you are motivated to do something too. Maybe you thought it's only me. I can't, it's not going to be so big. It's honey. The little becomes much when God is the motivator behind it. Yeah. Hey, Roxy, you needed to hear that. Let the dead bury the dead. Roxy, listen. From one widow, it'll be 16 years in February. And it's just coming up on a year for you. So you can't feel guilty because you're still alive. It's okay to move on with your life. And for those who have lost a husband or whose husband or wife have died, because they're not lost, we know where they're at, and we also know where they're not. When you move, I know you didn't ask this question, but it just led. When you move on, you're going to still have love for them. Their dying does not erase the history that you had with them. And it doesn't erase the love that you have in your heart for them. But it's okay to love them and love me too. It's okay to love them and love him too. It's okay to love them and love her too. Because this doesn't cancel out that. But this reminds you how blessed you were. And then this reminds you how much more blessed you are for God to allow it to happen again. And so, let the dead bury the dead.
When you say let the dead bury the dead, I mean, you talked on one aspect. You touched on one aspect. But let's talk about, I told you earlier today, I said, I am so ready for the new. What is it that you feel you need to bury from the past? The who, the what, the where.
Absolutely nothing.
Nothing?
Absolutely nothing. Let me tell you something. I had to release that. That's what I was saying. So I can't carry dead with. I cannot. When I go back to Pennsylvania, I don't go see my mother's gravesite. She ain't there. I don't go visit my grandparents' gravesite. They're not there. And I'm not saying it's wrong for somebody else to do it if that's what they do. But for me, I can't be connected to a grave. I still talk to her. I still talk to Nathaniel, my husband, my late husband, my grandparents. My father, who just passed in October, I still talk to him. But I can't go to a grave. That's just me. That's me, because to me, that's where dead things stay. But I'm alive. And if I'm alive, and I got pieces of them in me, they yet still live through me. Through me. And so I've learned to release. There is nobody that I've not forgiven. There is nothing that I need to walk away. Baby,
You done that already. Because what would you say to somebody? Because, I mean, it's about you today, but as a servant.
Yeah, it's about everybody today.
It's about everybody.
That's
so
right.
I do believe there's some people who are still dealing with things, people from the past.
Well, some people should be in other churches and then the only reason why they're in the church they're in now is because that's their family church. But they need to go somewhere else to grow. See, it doesn't mean that church is bad. I grew up Baptist, but in my Baptist church, we laid on hands, we healed, we spoke in tongues, we danced. So when I came to Ohio, there were female pastors and ministers. So when I came to Ohio and all of who I am was not accepted, I was like, huh? How? I didn't understand it. So when I hear people say, well, Baptists don't do, well, they do. They do. You just don't know any that do. You know, and so sometimes we have allegiance with our family. We have allegiance to our family.
Tradition,
religion, exactly. Until we're not
culture.
being obedient to what God is saying. When I left the church that I was at and went to New Hope Fellowship, I talked to the pastor and I said, it's time for me to graduate. And he said, I thought you would have been gone. He said, but you're right. But this is always home. And it is. I can go to Mount Pleasant and kick it and chill and get my worship on. And he always gives a good sermon to encourage me and feel me. But at the same time, I had to go somewhere where prophecy was happening on a regular basis because iron sharpens iron. And so I needed my prophetic eye to be sharpened. And so then they had the School of the Prophet, and I went and graduated from that, you know. You understand the office of an apostle. Well, my husband was an apostle, but I understand it even more so being there with Apostle Joseph Pruitt at New Hope Fellowship. And then now that I'm with Apostle Mel and Apostle Steve, all that I've learned and all that God called me to be, I'm using it.
You're using it.
I'm using it. And so to those that are stuck, you have to just do it. Like the Nike commercial says, just do it. You have to just do it. God is not giving you the spirit of fear. I'm a spirit of fear, but a power and a sound mind. And so you have to speak to that thing that's stopping you from doing what you know God has called you to do. You have to speak to that and say, oh no, they might not understand. You know, people say, well, ain't nobody gonna make me leave my church. But if God tells you it's time for you to graduate,
it's time for you to go.
It's time to graduate because, honey, I'm still not eating that formula that I ate when I was born 61 years ago. Why? Because it can't feed me. It can't give me the necessary nutrients that I need to sustain me. So we have to be diligent and feed our spirit man as such as well. So whatever, it might be a relationship, honey, let it go. Because God can take care of you better than any man. I've been a widow 15 years. A lot has happened to me in those 15 years. I got diagnosed with multiple sclerosis. My house was up for foreclosure. Got eligible for a grant. Then I sold $1,000 seeds to the prophet. Then somebody sold $1,000 seed back. Listen, if God did it for me, he can do it for you. Because he is no respecter of person. Somebody left me a message this morning and said they went and bought a car, and they said all they could hear me say, because I took him to an interview a couple of years ago, all they could hear me say was the same favor God gives me to go to the car lot and get a car when I need a car is the same favor that rests on you. I give it to you. It rests on you as well. You know? So they said, all I kept hearing was you saying that, the same favor. So they just did it. Just do it. Just do it.
Just that simple.
It's just that simple. I'm fitting to. I'm writing a book. Well, Tanya Lynne, you ain't wrote nothing. So how you writing a book? But now I can say I'm writing a book because I'm actually writing the book.
What do you think woke up in you to get you to actually start writing?
Kiara. K. Chantel Farmer.
Oh, yeah.
She has written 2 books. I have poured into her. And her writing those books and releasing them poured back into me. I said,
ain't that beautiful?
Now, girl, get yours out now. Girl, be whole. Girl, be whole.
That's beautiful.
Yeah. So her, and she doesn't even know that, but her releasing her 2 books released something in me. And so I am now completing, for real, Raindrops and Rainbows. And so in the spring, we'll have a nice book signing. My family's already ready to plan it and do the big 1, 2, 3, 4. And so we're excited about that.
That's so good.
Hey, Teresa McCurry, we were just talking about you. And you're looking wonderful. Yes,
Who
you
is
are.
that?
Apostle Teresa McCurry.
Hey, Apostle Prophet. So, okay, let's go to...
So, wait a minute, Roxanne Bruce. She sure was. Roxanne Bruce said, confirmation. I was told by my grandson, my nephew, Raymond Bruce, to remove the dead so I could live. Sometimes people are holding on to everybody's ashes. You got a mantle full of dead things, urns. This one was that one, that one, that. You holding on to the dead.
Oh, my goodness.
Isn't that something? See, we done took it somewhere
Oh,
else. See, you dead. Like I was cleaning my house a couple years ago, and I had all these obituaries. Why?
why?
I released them.
Release, release,
Release.
release.
Release. Yeah. I got one of my husband, and I'll keep my father's, but all them release.
Release.
You can't make place for dead things to be comfortable. Ooh.
So I guess my question to the audience is, what are you holding on to
Yeah.
that's dead?
That's dead.
And you need to release it.
Because we hold on to. Listen, how about you go in your closet? Look at the stuff that's in. Let's make it real simple. Then look at the closet. What you haven't worn in 2 years, get it out.
Oh my Lord.
Get it out. Get it out.
Oh,
Okay. I got you. So what you haven't held on for in 2 years, remove it. Get it out. It's just something that's simple. And do it room by room. If you haven't read those books, or maybe you've already read those books, guess what? Pass them on to somebody else.
Mm-hmm.
If the church doesn't have a library, how about you develop a library? But we hold on to so much. Well, I might wear it. You ain't wore it in 2 years. You're not gonna wear it because you're not thinking about it. I just said, I said, girl, just get all of that and just throw it away. Because I haven't went in my closet to even look in those bags and see. So obviously I don't need what's in those bags. So without looking at them, just throw it away, give it away. That's where you can start.
That's where you can start.
Then look at the people in your life. I'm not saying throw the people away. But what I'm saying is my sister Apostle Mel says, cubby hole. Cubby hole. You have cubby
She
holes.
said put them in compartments.
Put them in compartments. That's it. Where's your cubby hole at? Whoever's in first place might need to go down to 10th place, and who's in 8th might need to come up to 1st. You have to learn how to cubby hole people and things and situations and stuff. God been telling you to leave that job, and you miserable as I don't know what, calling off all the time. Why are you still holding on to dead things? It serves you no purpose. That woman, you know she's not going to be your wife. All you doing is sexing her. Let it go. Because it ain't worth the headache and the heartache. Let it go. And vice versa. Let him go. Let him go. Let him go.
You don't know the rest.
Right. Just let it go. You know, we just holding on for dear life. You got the money. Your car keeps breaking down. You know, you're spending 1,000 here, 500 here, 400. No, I don't want a car note. But guess what? You also get a warranty with that car note. And you got good credit, you got the money saved up. Let it go so that you can grow. Yeah.
Did anybody share with you in the comments what they need to let go of?
Let me see.
Did anybody
like
brave enough?
Roxanne said that way over. She said they can go way over there. Like Roxanne said, dead things. Like, and so what she meant was she had loved ones. She had urns of ashes. So she's literally letting go of the dead. She's releasing them, literally. Literally.
That's deep.
Yeah. I don't have any other comments yet.
Okay. So we were just talking about, you said just do it. And so that makes me think of fear. So if fear
False evidence appearing real.
Yes. If fear no longer had a voice, who would you be 5 years from now?
Me? I would be me.
In what way?
I would be married. He and I will be doing ministry together. Not necessarily he would be a pastor, but he would see my heart. He would know my heart for the people. And so when I say, hey, babe, you want to do such and such? Yeah, come on, let's do it. That way. That, you know, traveling, doing evangelical work, because I'm an evangelist. I'm a licensed ordained pastor, but I'm an evangelist to my soul. Everything. Even Quincy be ministering to people when we go out, you know?
Yeah.
So that's what I'd be doing. I'd be happily married, loving on my husband, cooking for my husband, running his bath, giving him back rubs and all the other good stuff and spoiling him, but also still operating in ministry. And I would just have somebody there to help me, to encourage me, to restore me, to cover me, you know, and to do it with me.
No.
Yeah, I swear, in 5 years, that's
Now I
it.
want to touch on some other things because you have some
And,
other.
and wait a minute, and maybe have my home where people who are in domestic violence situations and they don't have family or any place to go, my house will be a safe haven. Like not the one I'm in, the one I'm in would be it because I would be living with my husband. So that would be a safe haven. So that would be developed as well for men and women.
So you went there without me. You ain't let me say it,
Oh,
but
I'm
you
sorry.
went there. No, that's good because we going in the same direction. You have another ministry where you teach young people, right? Can you share with people about that?
Lunchtime with Jesus and Nurse T.
Yes, I love it. I
Baby,
love
listen.
it.
So it started with a fifth grader last year. She was going through some things, and then dad and mom weren't together, but they parent well. They co-parent well together. But dad had another baby, and so because a baby requires a lot of your time, he forgot some things. He wasn't at this recital. He wasn't, and it just did something to her. So I asked the mother, "Hey, I'm a licensed ordained pastor. I'm a certified mental health first aid responder. Can we have a date every week, maybe every Wednesday? She and I just talk and just yeah." Then one of her classmates was going through something, so she said, "You need to come to lunch with me and Nurse T." Next thing you know, I got the fifth grade class, lunchtime with Jesus and Nurse T.
I love it.
And right before spring break, they have a big graduation because we're making disciples. You know,
You are.
and so the best way for younger people to learn is from their peers. They might not hear us, and so if I can get these to be disciples, and they can disciple their other peers, and they can disciple, and they can disciple them, and they can disciple them. And so this year I have a third grade.
Okay, you doing third grade.
Third grade, Miss Koya White's class, third grade. And here's the awesome thing about third grade. Some of the third grade has siblings that were in the fifth grade class.
Oh, so they was like, "You with Nurse T, you with Nurse T."
Exactly. And so they're excited. And so it's still discipling in the family. So now they go home and share with their older sibling who did it, and they have conversations. And so beginning the first of the year, I'm going to start taking the donations because last year they had certificates, they had Bibles, they had journals, they had keychains to give to their grandparent or their mother and father, whomever they stay with. And the keychain was very heavy and it had a Bible verse on it. So they had that. And then they had a meal that was catered by Coach's Tavern. I want to say Tavern or no, Coach's Place. It's on Nottingham. My friend, I call him Trey Evans. He is the owner. So he did the ribs. And then my family, Carberry's, they did everything else. And then Miss Montanez made the beans and rice. And then my niece, she did some of the desserts. But Lunchtime with Jesus and Nurse T is a fabulous ministry.
And it's beautiful. It's beautiful.
Yes.
I've watched it. Okay.
Listen, I asked my babies this year, I said, who knows John 3:16? Only one did. He said, for God so loved the world. Daddy, go on, Cartier, go ahead, baby. Quote that scripture. And so now more of them learn because they said, well, how's it go? You know, and so peer to peer. Those are my babies.
I love it. So I brought that up because I wanted your viewers to know that Tanya Lynne, this is the season of collaboration, okay?
Really
and
is.
so I love the time with Nurse T. And if you would love to donate.
To Lunchtime with Nurse T. I do Zelle and Cash App. They're at my phone number, 216-767-6228. 216. Oh, wrong camera. 216-767-6228. 216-767-6228. That's for Jesus, Lunchtime with Jesus and Nurse T. We have so many sponsors like Alexandra Clark Bay. She donated to TV that's in the clinic that they watch. You know, I have an anonymous donor donated the refrigerator, freezer. You come into my clinic, it's like a studio apartment. I got a futon, a cot, a table with the chairs. We have refrigerators, freezers, air fryer, microwave, popcorn popper. And it's a place for them to any student in the school, because they come to me, just chill and relax. Just chill. Somebody came to me and said, Nurse T, I'm hungry.
And the kids be hungry in school.
I'm hungry. And I ate lunch downstairs and I'm still hungry. And I said, do you have food at home? Yeah, I have food at home. I'm just a little hungry. I said, well, I have some pizza in my refrigerator. Take it out, put it in the air fryer and heat it up and help you. How much? As much as you want. As much as you want, and help yourself. You know, that we're called to serve.
We're called to serve and
wherever
give.
we are, wherever we are. But we don't want to do it on the job because we don't want people looking at us crazy. I am God approved.
But wait a minute. So I want to touch on your domestic violence.
Yes.
So eventually you want a home, you just shared, right?
Yes, I will have a home.
And so
I will convert the home that I currently live in.
Tanya Lynne need a team. Who would like to volunteer?
I don't need a team.
You don't want a team? Mm-mm. Oh, okay. Never mind.
Not yet.
Not yet.
No, but we're gonna get a team.
Okay.
No, right. So we're gonna come back with y'all with that team.
Okay.
But yeah, not yet.
Okay.
Not yet. Okay. We're gonna finish the book.
Okay, we're gonna finish the book.
Yeah, girl, listen, then we're gonna do the book signing. Then we're gonna write the other book. And then we're gonna have that. Because I think by then I'll be married.
Mm-hmm. That's good that you said that. You said not yet.
Not yet.
Not yet. And I
just not yet.
Just not yet. So what she just did, she shared with us, she has a yes for her home later, but her response right now shows self-control. No, not at this time because I'm working on this. And I do believe that my prophet had us do a devotional the other day. And the one that I did was on self-control versus self-discipline. And so it's funny that you say that, and I believe it's the season that we need to focus on what did God tell Tanya Lynne to do? What did God tell Moneecia to do?
What did God tell Simiatu to do? What did God tell Roxanne? Oh, Simiatu said body weight. That's what she needs to release and let go. I believe that's what she's saying. Teresa, what did God tell Apostle Curry to do? Yeah.
What did God tell you to do?
Jackie, Sheila? Yeah. Yeah. And then are you doing it? That part. Are you doing it? Because somebody prophesied to me that I don't even talk to no more to this day. Said your words will make you money. And I said, huh? Because I've always written. People will always come to me, can you write this out? Can you do it? Sure. She said your words will make you money.
But you've been sitting on
I've been sitting on my word.
Me too.
So now it got to come. It got to come.
Got to come.
Yeah. And God showed me that sometimes what happens is God will show us something and we think it's right now. We don't ask God but when. And then somebody said, well, yeah, no, wait a minute, not yet. We don't say that, not yet. Because raindrops and rainbows has to come. And then until death, when your faith meets the fire, has to come. And around while I'm finishing that book or in the midst of that book, I see me married and us talking about the house and what we're going to do and how we're going to do it.
All right.
That's what I see. I see that house being something my husband, one of the first big things my husband and I will do together. Because then it's not just going to be for women. If a man needs a place, then that man has a house, a home. Sometimes you might need to stay in some place for 6 months just to get back on your feet, rent-free. Rent-free.
Yeah.
You know, $200 a month, that's rent-free. In a house that has three bedrooms and a whole finished third floor with a half a bath, but it'd be a shower up there by the time I do it. So, yeah. And it's needed. Sometimes you just need a safe place to rest your head.
That's so true.
Sometimes you need a place to just do a staycation where you can just be with God and nobody knows where you're at. That's what this house, this home is going to be. It's going to be a place to restore and replenish.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah.
Restore and replenish.
Restore and replenish. Yeah. Yeah. You're going to get recycled because we're going to break them old cycles. Yeah. That's what it's going to be. That's that helpmate. Yes, it is, Roxanne. Yes, it is. Yeah. So that's what I'm about to do in a little bit.
Okay. So I want to talk to you a little bit about identity from wounds. So what parts of your personality are expressions of your calling and which were formed by your pain?
I'm really an introvert. A lot of people would know that I'm an introvert because I'm so out there, but I'm really an introvert. And so the ability to be out there, because so it, when I was younger, sometimes the narrative was created for me. You know, I can't do that. I'm not smart enough for that. It took me to become grown and go back to college and get a bachelor's degree in science. I started back again, to realize I'm not stupid. That I am smart enough. And so that comes from some pain, some childhood stuff, you know. So now my mouth, me being an advocate for me and others, pain birthed that. Pain birthed that purpose. Being a rape survivor causes me to just see things differently in men and women, and to be very tuned in to everybody that's around me. I can be in a crowded room, but I'm steady looking, and I'm looking in. I'm looking in to see what's in you, to see if everything's okay. I do checks. I check on the staff at school. I don't just take care of the students. I want to know, hey, are you okay? You good today? You good? Well, no, I'm dead. Oh, okay. I got Tylenol. You need some Tylenol. I got some. You good today? You know. So pain birthed through that causes me just to look at things differently. My mom and dad, this is a domestic violence situation. It was Ike and Tina. And so it causes me to look at the students differently. I see signs. And then I ask questions, but not directly, but indirectly, that can let me know if it is or is not happening, you know, because children tell.
Yeah.
And so it causes, that's where the heart of compassion comes from that pain. Yeah. Purpose in your pain. I know, Mo. I know. It's, you know, somebody said, if you're black, you've already went through something because you were born black. Just because you were born black. Now add the other life traumas on top of that. And so where people are drawing lines of black and white, I don't do that. Because if I did that, it would erase my heritage. I wouldn't be here. I wouldn't be here. So I try to cross over to the other side in hopes that maybe you can cross over to my side. In all thy getting, get understanding. And that's something I've always tried to do.
And that's good. I don't think many people realize when we meet somebody that's new or different, or we see somebody sitting alone, or this person may behave this way or they behave that way. We don't take enough time to build a rapport with them, to learn their history.
Have a conversation.
History matters.
History matters. Apostle Mel said something the other day on Facebook. She said, let's extend grace, because people might be short with us, but they don't mean to, because the holidays, if they've lost someone, I might not always say it as nice as you might have wanted me to say it, because right now I'm dealing with some grief. And a lot of days I'm good, but every now and then I have a moment. And that moment, I don't want to talk. I've changed. I've changed since my father passed. I don't want to talk on the phone like I just don't bother me. And it's not because I'm going through any depression or anything. I'm really, eyes are open.
So let me ask you this, because that happened to me when my father died. I felt like there was some type of shift in me.
Yeah.
It was a shift. And I was able to birth something after my father died.
Raindrops, rainbows.
Co-parenting consultant.
And I can't explain this shift. All I know is that I can get a text and I don't want to respond. I don't, and it's not that I'm mad at anybody. It's not that anybody did me wrong. It's just that a shift happened and I'm in a different place. And some things I tolerated, I can't tolerate anymore. And it's like God was happening, you know? But it's just a shift. I have to navigate differently now. And it's because God is showing me so much more in me that's about to come out. And so I just navigate differently. That's all. Like I'm so free. I karaoke. I do things that I didn't do before. I'm just free. You know, people say, I feel so sorry you have to eat lunch by yourself. I say, I never have to do anything by myself. I got plenty of people I can call. I choose to because I like me as my company.
It's a place of solitude. Well, it was for me. I can't say for you, but it was a place of solitude.
And if I'm always talking and you always talking to me, when do I get to hear God?
So at one point, I was doing fasts where I wasn't speaking on the phone to anybody. And so it would be like 30 days or this and that. And some of my friends would be like, for real, you serious? You serious? You don't want to talk? Like, no, I don't want to talk. And it wasn't nothing against them, but I did a fast and I stayed off the phone. And there was some things that...
And when you came off, God showed himself faithful during that fast, did he not?
Yes, he did.
Exactly.
Yes, he did.
Exactly.
Yes, he did.
So sometimes you have to detach from certain things temporarily and sometimes permanently. And God will let us know if it's temporary or if it's permanent. You know, and we need to stop giving people explanations. I ain't got to explain anything to you that God is telling me to do for me. I don't owe you an explanation. But I owe God my obedience. How about that?
How about that?
I owe him my obedience. I don't owe you an explanation. And so, yeah, it's a little shift that happened, but I'm shaking through the shift. I'm working through the shift. Right, it's called Manifest and Birth Anew. You know what? I can't.
Who is that?
Roxanne. Hey, Shalonda. We was talking about her too.
That's my prophet, Shalonda.
Coming in the studio, she had an awesome dream that had you, Prophet, and Apostle McCurry in it. It was fantastic. God is about to elevate her, and you gave her keys. That's access, because you represent elevation.
I ain't even talked to her yet.
So, girl, look, and you both chimed in. Look at God.
Yeah, my people who love me.
And
my tribe.
Your tribe. Your tribe.
Baby, wait a minute. Let me tell you about something, okay? It is something... It's a beautiful experience to be with your tribe.
It is. Because you can be the ugly you, the pretty you, the stinking you, the temperamental you. You can just be you. Every part of you is accepted with your tribe and never judged. We listen and we don't judge.
And since my tribe on here, I love y'all. And I thank you for allowing Moneecia to be Moneecia.
Absolutely. Because, I mean, anything less, Mo, is uncivilized. Anything less is uncivilized. You should never have to dim your light so that somebody else's light could shine. You should never have to dim your light so that somebody else's light can shine. And anytime somebody wants you to dim your light so they can shine, get your little eraser and erase them out your life. Because we're not in competition.
I've never been. Have I ever been a person in competition,
No.
do you think?
No.
But anyway.
Period.
Okay, so we want to talk about restoration and growth. You touched on that some.
Yeah.
Your house would be a house of restoration and growth. And so I want to ask you, this is important because when we're dealing with people as servants, we have to provide a place of emotional safety. And I don't think many people understand that. They don't understand that people violate confidentiality, or even if you're having some kind of conversation with someone to assist someone, we cannot.
Well, we have pastors who are not qualified to pastor in certain areas. And I don't care, you can say whatever you want to say. If you have not been educated in mental health,
or trained.
If you have not been trained, that's what I meant, trained.
That too.
And to be a mental health advocate, if you have not been trained or what domestic violence, because quite frankly, you got pastors preaching and they whipping their wives behinds. I said what I said, and I meant what I said. And so, how can you help me when you doing what he's doing to me? And so the church needs to get educated in some areas so that they can see some things, but not only that, so that they can have the resources for. How hard is it to put a basket in the men and women's bathroom of a church and put rape crisis information in there? Because the rape could have happened 50 years ago, but you still carrying that around. You need somewhere to release it. And that's a safe place to release it, where people are educated and trained. And they understand anonymity. Everybody doesn't feel safe in their church to release certain things because they've heard certain things preached from behind that pulpit. They've heard people come to them and talk about other people's. Well, I just listened. Guess what? You're just as guilty as the one that was talking because you allowed the conversation to continue. You know? And so we need to be educated and trained in church. On multiple levels. We have the Bible, but we also live real life. So we need to balance those scales. So you can give me a scripture, but also let me know that there's resources for me that I don't have to get my behind whipped. Me being a submissive wife doesn't mean he goes upside my head. It doesn't mean that I don't say, I don't appreciate you cheating on me. It doesn't mean that I can't get a divorce, because God even forgives that.
Well, let's even talk about something simple as telling the truth.
How about that? Spiritual manipulation, using a scripture to manipulate the other person to get your untruth across as something that God has ordained. How about that? And men get abused too. And I don't mean gay men. We got some women who are very nasty sitting up in church. Hallelujah. And but you telling him off, dogging, withholding sex from him, using sex as a bargaining tool. What it is, it's just the Tanya Lynne.
I was talking about emotional.
Ouch.
I was talking about emotional safety. I don't know.
But I'm saying, as far as men are concerned, because we always look at it as women need that safe place. But
everybody needs it.
But where do we start establishing safe places for men? Everybody needs it. Even men need a safe space too. You know, and we forget them. And I love me some of the men. You know, I have a strong ministry with men too, because I'm just T. Just T.
Yeah. So when I was talking about emotional, what does that look like? And when we talk about emotional safety, you hit a key point. Everybody is not trained or should be counseling people.
Right. So certain things we can't say. If there's a woman that is going through a domestic violence situation, what you do not say is, but you keep going back. Because what you're saying is, then you deserve to get your tail whipped because you keep going back. But here's what happens. Just because you beat me doesn't mean the love stops. I'm still in love with you. And God, and I might be believing that God said for us to get married. And God might have said for us to get married. But see, you violating what God said. I'm not. And so
you would never understand that unless you was in a domestic violence.
Hey, son, my son Justin speaking.
Domestic
you
violence
would never
situation.
Understand that.
No,
so
you
don't say, well, you keep going back. What also you don't say is, you don't have enough faith. You're not trusting God. They have enough faith. They are trusting God. Well, that's just the devil why you're depressed. No, it's not. It could be a chemical imbalance within that person. I love Jesus, but Tanya Lynne takes a pill so I don't be cereal, snap, crackle, and pop. That's reality. And so we need to stop making the victim.
You victimizing the victim.
Feeling guilty because they the victim. Because you be victimizing the victim.
Yeah, that bothers me.
And so we can't go and tell sister so-and-so or deacon so-and-so. That conversation is between me and them. I can't go and let anybody else know.
You victimized me after I'm coming to you as my
safe space.
And then you didn't share it with,
I was in it's on YouTube. It's called Pressure by Mike Berry, and it's about depression. And I was saying how they want to say, you know, you don't have enough God. That's why you're going through depression. But you need to trust God for everything or trusting for nothing. So how about you stop taking your Tylenol and your Viagra? How about you stop taking your high blood sugar and your insulin? Because if you can do that, then I can take a pill so I don't snap, crackle, and pop and still love Jesus. How about that? So you trust God for everything or you trust him for nothing. And so we got to stop putting our own personal spin on stuff
And our beliefs.
and our beliefs on
And
stuff.
okay, so when you say beliefs and biases, because we all have biases.
I'm going to dance, and I'm a Christian. I'm a licensed ordained pastor. I'm a prophet and apostle. I'm an evangelist. I'm going to dance, and I'm going to be sexy. And if you believe that being sexy means somebody sexualized, that's your issue, because that's not what being sexy means.
And many times in the religious culture, we put our biases and our own beliefs on somebody else, and that's where people are broken.
Exactly.
That's when people are turned
That's
off.
where they're violated
from God.
That's right. And they're not allowed to be who God called them to be. And that is wrong. And that's spiritual bondage. And that's a form of abuse as well. The church suffers from domestic violence. Domestic violence is an act that occurs to you that you did not ask for, that was negative in your home. Isn't church your home?
It's the relationship.
Isn't church in your intimate space? Isn't church your intimate space?
It's a relationship.
So it can happen to a child. It can happen to an elderly. It can happen to a male. It can happen to a female. It can happen to somebody heterosexual, somebody homosexual, somebody not sexual. It can just happen. And we need to understand that and have real conversations about that and create the safe spaces where we can have chat and choose, where we go and talk about it and eat, men and women. And whatever we stay here has to stay here. Stay here has to stay here.
Or even hiring some professionals
to come in. That's right.
And even work with your leaders.
That's right. But the leaders
to work with your congregation.
But leaders, you have to be responsible. And Yolanda Prude is wonderful. She's an instructor for mental health first aid. That's who taught me. She's wonderful. Absolutely. I was talking to somebody the other day, saying some business. I was doing something. They was like, "Oh, Yolanda taught me too." Had nothing to do with anything. Just. So she's a good resource because they're coming to your church.
So this is something I do believe that a solution is hiring people to educate your people, or if not, share somewhere where they can go. Yes, resources.
Absolutely.
And they can go get it on their own.
Absolutely, and that's why I advocate.
Yes.
Because everybody, we make the assumption that everybody knows. Everybody doesn't know.
No.
Just because people sit up in church, they don't know where Ezekiel is. They don't know Revelations is the last book of the Bible. You know, everybody's not like you. And everybody doesn't know what you know. So I try to teach people as if they don't know. And I would rather for them to say, "Oh, I know," than for me to not say it and they did not know. So that's what I try to do. I try to fill in the holes and the gaps and try to, make sure that you have what you need and you have what you need so that you can help yourself sometimes. So these are real conversations that the church needs to have outside of conversations with Auntie.
Listen.
Because these are real conversations. Because they're coming. They're in your congregation now. And what do you have? How hard is it to put domestic violence information in a basket in your bathrooms? So that person can go in the privacy and get the information they need, put it in their purse, in their pocket, and then use the information or pass it on to somebody that they know needs it. We don't think like that, but you want to ask for that tithe and offering.
Well, one of the other things that I wanted to touch on, you talked about...
I think we got like 2 minutes left.
Domestic violence. Well, I'm going to hit on trauma. I'll just say, this is what I'll wrap it up. It's important, if we're working with groups, to invest in getting, even if it's a day training in trauma, being trauma informed, being informed about grief, confidentiality. What does it mean to be a safe person? These are things that we need if we're working with groups.
Because unfortunately, because we don't know the history, as you said, we assume, well, Tanya, she just didn't want to talk to me. Honey, Tanya's just trying to maintain. Tanya's trying not to break down and cry. I can't have you hug me today because that will open up a floodgate and I can't handle that floodgate. I don't have the capacity to handle it. And so with the proper training, the proper teaching, then we can be the best advocate for them or the best ear for them or the best support for them. But unfortunately, sometimes church thinks they know everything because everything they need to know is in the scriptures. But it is in the scripture, but where's the practicum of it? Where do we apply it? How do I apply it? And that's the piece we're missing. That's the piece we're missing. And that takes us to next month's show, where we're going to talk to someone who chose herself, Letitia. She chose herself. And we're going to talk about that and talk about trauma and talk about cycles. But for now, thank you for tuning in with Conversations with Auntie.
Yeah.
I will see you next year. May God bless you with good health and even financial stability.
Amen.